Hello, you're welcome to another edition of Playmakers here on MX24. It's a Saturday morning. My name is Benedict. It's always a pleasure joining you on this platform. From now until the hour of 9 is all about sports, everything you need to know in the world of football. And here on the local scene, the GFA has announced the prize money for the winner and the runner-up of the upcoming football season, which kickstarts next week. Also, Start Times will telecast a maximum of 68 live matches in the first round of the Premier League. Yesterday, the schedule for the matches for the next 5 games were published, and we'll give you an idea of how it's looking at. There will be a special package for top-performing coaches at the end of the season. This according to the FA. We also will look at that 3 Division 1 League zonal winners will receive 75,000 Ghana cedis each as prize money. And we'll hear from Asamoah Gyan. He's been trending since his move to Legon Cities in the Ghana Premier League. Well, he's expected to make his debut next Saturday when they take on Bekum Chelsea at the Accra Stadium. We'll hear from him how ready he is and what he brings on board after joining Legon Cities. On the international front, current champions Liverpool will take on former champions Man City at the Etihad Stadium tomorrow. The top liner this weekend in the English Premier League, and elsewhere in Germany, the top liner is the Klassiker. That's the game between Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich. Well, both teams tied up 15 points after 7 match days. We'll see how that will go. The show, as always, is interactive, so get through to us on our Facebook page, MX24GH. We are streaming this show live on Twitter as well. You can place your comment on our streaming platform. On WhatsApp is 0592 896 001, 0592 896 001. So let's make it interactive. I want to hear from the Liverpool Manchester City fans going to this weekend run of games. How do you see your team? Liverpool looking very good after their comprehensive win over Atalanta in the UEFA Champions League in the course of the week. All these and more, plus your comments here on the show. We go for our first commercial break. Don't go away. We are back with more. Well, thanks for staying. You're still here on Playmakers on MX24. My name is Benedict. So my guests are in the studio. And as I mentioned, a lot to discuss here on the local scene. The Ghana Premier League, as well as the other leagues, were launched this Thursday by the Football Association President Ketu Kweku and members of the FA. At that launch, Ket revealed that the winner of this year's Ghana Premier League will pocket 250,000 Ghana cedis, which is an increment from the initial 180,000 Ghana cedis that the Ghana Stars received after winning the 2016-17 Ghana Premier League. The runners-up will take 150,000 Ghana cedis. Well, for the benefit of those that do not really understand the 250,000 Ghana cedis and the 150,000 Ghana cedis, so if you are in America and you are watching, or wherever you find yourself and you're a dollar man, the winner of this season's Ghana Premier League will pocket $42,000. $42,000. The runners-up, that's the 150,000 Ghana cedis, is equivalent to $30,000. Plus 40 medals, groceries from Melcom Shopping Center this week. We also told you the story of how they've been able to sign a sponsorship deal with Melcom Ghana. The Division 1 will also get 50,000 Ghana cedis. That's the winner in prize money. Division 1, 50,000 Ghana cedis. There's a special package for coaches. There will be a training attachment packages for top-performing coaches of the league, the National Division 1, as well as the Women's Premier League. And so that's for coaches that would excel in the 2020-21 football season. So it's not just about the Premier League, the Division 1 as well as the Women's League. And then Start Times, they are broadcast, they hold the rights to broadcast the matches of the Premier League. They say they will broadcast 68 live matches in the first round of the league. And on match day 1, that's the next weekend, which will be on the weekend of 14th to 16th, they will broadcast 5 matches. 5 matches they will broadcast in all. In the first round, they will broadcast 68 matches. Well, let me introduce you to my guest so we get through to the issues and look at where the FA is standing, what informed their decision, to come up with a $42,000, which is equivalent to 250,000. How are all these shaping up the women's game as well as Division 1? Last week, Akusia was here. She's here again. Akusia de Amu. Akusia, how are you?
I'm fine, Benedict.
Great. And there's a new face in the studio. Kwapia, that's how we call him, Eko. Eko Amosi, right? Yeah. Good. He's editor for Football Ghana, one of the vibrant football websites here in the country. Guys, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you too. And
once again, welcome to you out there for joining us. As I made mention earlier on, the show is interactive, so we are streaming live on our Facebook page. That's MX24GH on Facebook. The show is streaming live there, so you can go there and post your comments. You can do same on our Twitter page. And the number to text us on is 0592 866001. 0592 8960001 will be on your screen there, so don't worry if you didn't get it. But Agusia, once again, thanks for joining us. I want to start with you from the women's league.
Yeah.
Very good for the women's game. 50,000 Ghana cedis as prize money for the winner.
It's historic for the women's game because this is a women's league that was having 15,000 Ghana cedis as the prize money. That's like an over 60% increase with the 50,000. And what I like the most about this is that it was a bit confusing because the women's league has two zones, the north and the southern zone. So I was trying to get the whole thing, how it's going to pan out. I got the explanation that the 50,000 Ghana cedis is for the team that wins the women's league. So they play the north and the southern zone, the champions. The person that wins gets the the team that wins gets the 50,000. Then the second place team gets the 30,000. So the teams that place second in the two zones end up getting the I think 15,000
yeah.
as well.
That'll be like a third place team.
Third place team as well. So it's a good initiative for the women's game. They've been crying a lot because of funding, and I think this would actually encourage other teams in the lower zones to try and get their acts together to be in the women's league. I can't stress this enough. And then the good thing too is that the two top teams, their coaches end up getting a refresher course abroad. This is also another great initiative by the Ghana Football Association. It gives the women's league some sort of excitement, and I'm sure a lot of them are looking forward to it. They already had the FIFA money where most of the teams have purchased good buses because bus was an issue for most of the clubs. You look at some of them, the condition in which they bus the ladies, it wasn't the best. So, it's something that I can't stress enough. It's a great initiative, and it will play a very good thing all along in the women's league this season.
I was expecting Akusia to go through on and on and on and tell us about how this will help the clubs and the league itself. But I mean, from a man's perspective, you will say we've not seen much done about the women's game, and since the Ketu-Kuku-led administration took over, they are trying every means possible to make the women's game attractive, and this is one of the things they can do.
Yeah, I think during the lunch, I like what the FA president said. He said that is the area where his interest is, and even though the money, people are questioning the money, but I mean, you can't complain. These are teams that didn't have enough, even just like what Akusia said, busing them and back and forth was an issue. And so bringing this kind of money, I mean, getting this kind of money from the FA who just came into office in less than a year. Sorry, they've been in a year in office, and even the sponsorship has been an issue. And so getting this kind of money, I think that now the teams will get to know that now there's something huge at stake. And so getting on the field during my day, they'll put in their maximum bets. And then I don't think that probably going forward, I think we all pray that there will be an improvement. This is something that even I don't think the teams expected this kind of money because you compare it to what they were receiving, and I think there have been an improvement. And so what we can say is that moving forward, I mean, we can see more and more because that is where the FA president's interest is. And so definitely where your interest lies, we'll have to see more improvement in that area.
All right, so the GFA doing the most when it comes to the women's game here in the country. But remember that it's not starting now. It will start somewhere next year, early next year. But in terms of the men's game, the Ghana Premier League is starting next weekend. All right, so let's talk about the Ghana Premier League. Now, 50,000 Ghana... 250,000 Ghana cedis as prize money, which is equivalent to 42,000. Yeah. I've heard people say it is not enough. But remember, the previous winner, that was Indiana Stars, because we've not been able to complete a full season after the 2016-17 season. Almost every time something happens and we are not able to finish. They took home 180,000, which what they are talking about now is way, way ahead. Do you stand by with the school of thought that this is not enough for Ghana Premier League? $42,000, 250,000 Ghana cedis.
Well, I've heard a whole lot of comments. I mean, but you can't blame the FA. They are not getting enough sponsorship as the FA president promised. You can't blame them. We've come into a place where COVID also came into there, and so making things very difficult. But listen, this is the FA's top product, and so bringing in, awarding the top, the winner of the Premier League such an amount, you say that it's not enough. But comparing it to what the Indiana Stars, pocketed when they won the league, you could say that there've been an improvement. But you compare it on the continent in which we are, compared to the PSL and among all the leagues that we see here in Africa, you only say that it's not enough, because even the expenses that the team would do at the end of the season, I mean, you could see that they are.
And that's where I was going to, because you look at how much a team will spend in a season. That's way, way more than the 250,000. So, what's the motivation for playing the league in terms of the prize money? Because Akusia, if you are spending more than how much you're going to get for over how many games? Now there are 18 Premier League teams, so they play in excess of 60 games. Yeah. Where lies the motivation?
So the thing about our Ghana Premier League is a product that we haven't in recent times groomed enough to get the returns. It's been one sponsorship being truncated to another. We have to accept the fact that there needs to be a growth. We have to accept the fact that we have to start from somewhere. And unfortunately, this is where we have to start from. That is 250,000 Ghana cedis. If the league becomes vibrant enough, there's excitement, there's media coverage enough, there's a lot of benefits. Yeah. I'm sure that the money would double up. And I know Kurt, being someone who has also managed a team at a point in time, knows that 250,000 Ghana cedis is definitely not enough. The clubs spend a lot of money, but the truth is that we haven't gotten somewhere that we have a lot of money to give to the clubs, and this is what should motivate the clubs to do better. This is what should motivate the Ghana Football Association to do better. The bickering, the trying to talk bad about the Ghana Premier League is not going to sell the Ghana Premier League. Yeah. All stakeholders have to come together to ensure that 250,000 Ghana cedis never repeats itself. Okay. Because from when this season, God willing, when the season starts and it ends, it should be a situation whereby some sponsor is pumping about $20 million. It's possible to the Ghana Premier League. And then those returns that they want, it can be yielded. But Rome was not built in a day. It just doesn't start with 500,000 Ghana cedis when the FA knows very well that they cannot produce that kind of money. So far, 250,000 Ghana cedis is the money that the FA can produce. What the clubs need to do is back the FA, make sure that the quality is there. And who knows, we can be going to something better than 250,000 Ghana cedis.
Yesterday, a friend was telling me that, if you're Legon Cities, where's the motivation to play in the league? Because you are giving us a margin alone in excess of $1 million, and you are playing for a whole season for $45,000, which $42,000, which is not, in terms of percentage, it's not even 1% out of the money they are giving us so much. But I mean, are we right? Are we right in comparing? And if I say, are we right as journalists and sports pundits, are we right in comparing other leagues to our league and say, okay, South Africa, they are paying in excess of $1 million, so why are we here paying $42,000?
I mean, I'm not saying we should compare them, but you look up to them and make sure that you improve upon what you have. And I mean, comparing Legon Cities, what they have now, as bringing in Asamoah and giving him that huge sums of money. Kotoko wanted Justice Blay from Midiama.
Yeah.
Midiama quoted a figure around $50,000. And so you could see that Justice Blay alone is worth more than the Premier League, if we are to say so.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you're talking about motivation and all these things, yes, we are expecting more people to come in with more sponsorship and all that before probably if Ket's terms end or he continues. But, I mean, we are expecting more. But what we have to make sure that we do it, we put it in at a place where sponsorship will come in and give us the money that we and the clubs all need.
Yeah.
Because where we are now, you ask yourself, you're looking at from where we're coming from, you're looking at number 12, you're looking at COVID and all the companies, you ask yourself who is coming in to inject that money that we need. We shouldn't forget that Globalcom came in with a huge sums of money. We didn't end the league and they didn't end their contract and then they had to leave. And so if we are to compare, yes, we can compare. But you ask yourself that in terms of what we have, is it equal to what those people that we are, comparing to them? That is a huge, there's a huge gap between us and them. And so we have to improve. When we improve, definitely, we get people coming in to inject in more money to make sure that we get what we want. But, I mean, we have to also caution the clubs that they have to do their best. They have to put in their maximum best. The club licensing committee are making sure that the matches that will be broadcasted, at places that they are very good, because
places that are marketable.
Yeah, marketable. You can't go and broadcast a match where the pitches are not good.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a huge minus for us.
Okay.
And so moving forward, we have to consider all these things, and I'm sure that when we do things properly, definitely we'll get in more people and they'll bring in more money as the other African leagues they are doing.
Okay. All right, so you're coming to see and Akusia there are my guests in the studio. We're still here on Playmakers on MX24. We are still dealing with local issues, and if you just tune in, you've missed quite a lot. We're talking about the Ghana Premier League and how much the winners stand to gain the football season and how much the winners stand to gain. So for the Ghana Premier League, let me take you back again. The winner will take 250,000 Ghana cedis, which is equivalent to $42,000. And then the runner-up will take $30,000, which is $150,000 plus silver medals and groceries from Melcom Shopping Center. And the third place will pocket $80,000 plus 40 bronze medals. For the Women's League, the winner will take on, all these are for the 2020-21 football season. Yes, 2020-21 football season. It's subject to change. So please, we have to make that distinction very clear there. But for the women's game, 50,000 Ghana cedis, and then the runner-up will take 30,000 with 15,000 for the third place. Also, will get some medals in there. The Division 1, which you've not spoken about, I think the FA, when they announced this, said this is a novelty. We've not seen this before, that especially in the Division 1, clubs will get the amount of money they are giving them. That one is also just as the women's game. They are getting 50,000 Ghana cedis, which is very good as well.
Very good, because we haven't seen that much patronage with the Division 1. And the problem is that Division 1 is sort of supposed to end up supplying at a point in time to the Ghana Premier League. So if there's a disconnect with the funding and the prize money, although it's played in zones, it can be very expensive moving around too. And so it's a good initiative.
It's actually expensive.
It is. It's a good initiative for there to be a prize money. But I was curious about how there wasn't the talk about participation fee for the clubs, because usually that's what happens. Clubs are also given some sort of money as well to start the league. And all these things, it's a first step. it's a bold step. It's not going to be 100% what people want it to be. We cannot be talking about huge sums of money when there isn't maybe enough money for that. So it's a good step for Division 1 as well, and I'm sure they will be happy about it too.
Okay, so send in your comments to our WhatsApp line, which is 0592896001. Also on Facebook, you can post your comments on MXGH24 on Facebook. On Twitter is MX24GH as well. So we have to move on from the prize money that will be given to the winners of the respective leagues on the local season, the 2020-21 football season. There is one man that literally is going to light up the Premier League, and his move to Legon Cities has been trending for how many days? From the time he made that move up till now. Yesterday on the BBC World Football, there was a whole discussion on Asamoah Gyan on Focus on Africa on the BBC as well. Is everywhere. Well, Asamoah Gyan has been speaking. Let's take a listen to him.
People from Ghana have been watching me outside for all these years, and finally I'm back home, where I started. So sometimes it brings memories, from 2003 to now. I just ask myself, so how am I gonna do? Am I gonna still play like 2003 or not? And secondly, I think my name is a household name now. In 2003, it wasn't a household name. For now, people will be coming to the stadium, I'm sure, purposely to come see me on the field. So I'm so happy, to play in the Ghanaian League, to play in front of the Ghanaian fans. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Sometimes you need to accept certain things. Last time I played football was in January when I got injured. I got injured in January. I came back home, and then the COVID, everything. I didn't play football. I had to play tennis to keep fit. So I'm now okay. Injury-wise, everything is fine. So I decided to start working. Because honestly, I added a bit of weight. So I need to just get back in shape so I can start playing football. So when Legon City contacted me, we had to just evaluate everything, and then everything was successful. The projects they have, the future plan they have, it makes a bit of sense. And then me being a professional football player, and with my experience, I feel like, hey, this is gonna benefit Ghanaian football. It's gonna benefit me, a player as well. So that was my decision. It's a good decision for me. No, personally, I don't feel any pressure. I'm just here to enjoy myself. I just want to get fit, enjoy myself on the field, make the fans happy. Do what I can do on the field, help the young ones, because especially the young ones, because most of them look up to me. Playing around me is gonna push them to do more. So the most important thing is me getting fitter, and then make sure I can deliver, and also me being in the Ghanaian League can bring more exposure to the world. Since I signed for Lagos City, it's everywhere. Everybody's talking about Lagos City. Everybody's talking about the Ghanaian Premier League, how it's gonna be like. There are a lot of players who wants to even come back home to play. But we've not seen it yet. But I know there are a lot of players who are outside there who are also eager to play, because somebody needs to set a pace. I remember when I went to the UAE, there were a lot of criticisms and everything. But at the end of the day, there are a lot of great players coming there to play their football. So who knows? I'm just here to help and then to enjoy my football.
There were a few times during the training session where I saw you talking to the players. What exactly were you telling them?
No, I was just talking to them about how the game is gonna be like. Sometimes the coach can give you his guidance. The coaches will give you that guidance. They make sure they show you certain things. But I think 60% of everything is gonna come from the players. The coach will give you his tactics and everything. It doesn't mean you have to be playing everything like everything he shows on training. It comes naturally. Maybe you have a ball and then you're like, oh, this is what coach spoke about. That is where you can do it. It happens twice in a game. That is why we prepare. If you don't have to be repeating it, otherwise you make mistakes. The opponent can get used to it. So everything the coaches train or adapt on the training, you just do about just 5% of it on the field. In match day. So that was what I was telling them. I told them, hey, let's stay focused, do what the coach says. And then when we are on the field, we are on our own. The coach will not come to the field and come and tell you. It happens once in a while. Maybe a ball comes and then you say, oh, this is what we make the training. And it happens. That was what I was saying. Part of the target, I think they've done a lot of signings, which means they have a project. They have an ambition. They want to do something, and me being part of it, I think I'm also happy to be part of it. Nobody knows what is going to happen, but everything will depend on the team. I think the management are doing extremely well. They are doing their job. We the players, we also make sure we do our job on the field, and it's a collective thing. It's not only about the players. It's all about the whole team, the management. Everybody has to get involved in what we are doing so we can have a success. So because if the players are not happy, I don't think there will be any success. And I think so far, you can see the players are happy right now, and we can't wait for the first game of the season.
All right, so that was Asamoah there in that interview with communications director of Legon City's Kwame Jumo Ajeman. All right, so he completed a one-year deal on transfer deadline day last week, Saturday. So he's going to be with the club for 1 year, and he's likely to make his debut when they come up against Bekum Chelsea next Saturday at the Accra Sports Stadium. So exactly a week today, Asamoah is likely to make his Ghana Premier League debut. Well, we all will be watching keenly to see how it's going to turn out. One, he talked about not being under pressure, what informed his decision to come back and play in the Ghana Premier League, and also how Legon City should be very moderate in expecting something big from him and also from the team. The fact that they've made some signings and him, Jan also has joined, doesn't mean that they are going to win this season's Ghana Premier League. Good move for the league in terms of marketing, in terms of the commercial value. Kuzia.
It's a great move. When they announced it, we all saw how social media started buzzing. FIFA
World Cup.
World
Him
Cup,
all the best.
wishing him all the best. Like, there was so much good noise about it, and I think that's great for the Ghana Premier League. And he's making a return to, because he was with Liberty some years ago.
He left Ghana 2002, 2003.
Yes, exactly. So this he's 34 years old. Asamoah Gyan, unfortunately, is not the Asamoah Gyan of old, having injury issues and all that. Even his last club he was with Northeast.
That's Northeast United
in the Indian League, and how he started very well. 4 goals in 8 games, and unfortunately, because of injury, that was it, and that was goodbye to him. So, as he's saying, great market value, but this is not time for we to tip Legon Cities as league contenders at all. It's going to take a long time for them to get, okay, some clubs have done it in the past, but then it shouldn't be we're expecting too much from Legon Cities. I think the most important thing for them this season will be to gel well as a club and enjoy their Asamoah Gyan hype. They've already done very well when it comes to their marketing. Last season, they were bringing musicians to come and get the stadium buzzing a bit.
It's just unfortunate that we're going to have just 25% of people go to the stadium. If
there
were 100, Asamoah Gyan, trust me, would have put a lot of people to the stadium. Just before we go for our break, Echo, 34-year-old, you think he still has enough power in him to, deliver?
No, I don't think so. Asamoah Gyan, we've known is not like he is today. I mean, you look at his time at Turkey, Kayserispor, it wasn't good because of injuries. He went to India, still injuries, coming back 34. You don't expect him to do what he was doing when he was in France, what he wanted in those days. No, you don't expect him to do that. And you look at Legon City, they have virtually changed the whole team. You look at the number of players that they brought in, entirely new players. Yes, I think they are going to help Asamoah Gyan, but you don't expect him to be banging in the goals, playing full 90 minutes. No, I think the coach has a way that he's going to use him to make sure that when he comes onto the game, he really puts in something that the team is going to, I mean, he coming onto the pitch is going to help the team do something. But we shouldn't expect much from him. I think the players around him are going to help him to do more. But we should also ask ourselves, will he be able to stay throughout the whole season without injuries? Because I don't think this Ghana Premier League defenders are going to allow him just to pass by them, and no, they are going to give him a very tough time. And so coming in, I think is a good move, but we hope that it's not going to be like those guys who came in and there were a whole lot of confusion and all that, like Kingston and the likes of the guys who came in. I mean, it wasn't a good thing that we heard, but we know Asamoah Gyan what he has, his charisma and what he brings on the on the field of play, and then we can only commend him for the decision, because we heard that he was getting office from the Asian side, but he decided to come back home. I think he knows why he has to come. Coming back definitely will add a bit of excitement to the league. And I think I was expecting the FA to even commend him for that decision, because we needed something to revive the league. Now he coming back, I don't think Asamoah Gyan going to Aduana, Asamoah Gyan going to Bichim, people will just sit at home and then be listening. No, they would like to go there to see what he brings on the field of play. I think we have to commend him, and coming into, I think the FA has, I'm expecting that the FA will use Asamoah Gyan as a medium.
Yeah, they will. Yeah. Just to be fair to the FA, when they published a story about the transfers, Asamoah Gyan was the lead in that story. So I know going forward, they definitely will use Gyan, because Gyan is big. Yeah. He's huge. So they definitely will do that. Well, we have to go for our next commercial break. You're still here on Playmakers on MX24. Don't go away. We are back to do more this time. When we come back, we are talking about Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea, United, Everton. Don't go away. Now let's go to what to expect in the major European leagues, and we'll start with the English Premier League. And last night, 2 matches were played. Brighton and Hove Albion in their game against Burnley ended goalless, and Southampton, without Danny Ings, managed to beat Newcastle United by 2-0 at the St. Mary's Stadium. And today, we'll have Everton, Manchester United. Big one, of course, Chelsea, Sheffield, West Bromwich Albion, Tottenham Hotspur, and then Manchester City will come up against Liverpool. That's tomorrow, and then Arsenal versus Aston Villa. Well, I want us to start from the Everton-Manchester United game. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at this time is under some serious pressure. I mean, irrespective of everything that's been happening, when it comes to, there are days when things are going very, very not good for him. Then he comes up with something. He is able to beat top teams, and then the talk about Ole out is gone. And now it looks like it's coming in. We are heading to international break, and this is the time that many clubs do sack coaches. I mean, Apia, you're a Chelsea fan, but you think at this point, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer today is not able to win against Everton, he'll be fired?
Yeah, absolutely.
He'll be fired.
I mean, it's obvious. I mean, look at where he's sending the club. The club. I think they are not on the right path. I mean, people say that they have a good team, but they don't have a coach. It looks like it's true, because when he came in at first, you could see he's coming in with something that he's having the backing of the 92 class. The media started, giving him that space to do whatever he wants to do. But you can see that where he's going, it's just like he's lost it, and he doesn't know where to turn the club around. You beat PSG, you beat Leipzig, and then you come back, and then you lose to Arsenal, and during midweek.
And then they lost to Istanbul Başakşehir.
Yeah, and it's not a good results. I mean, look at even the manner in which they considered those 2 goals. Absolutely, you don't accept that from a top club like Manchester United. And so going into Everton have picked up some positives. I mean, James is back. Unfortunately, Richarlison is out because of injury. And so you could see the number of, when Everton started, how they were winning the game, it was because of James. And now James is back. And so you could see that definitely there's something going to happen. And going into the game, Manchester United are going to Goodison Park. And you could see that playing at Goodison Park always a tough ground for Manchester United. And so for United to lose, for them to lose today, I think Ole will be under pressure. And the only decision for the board and the Manchester United to make is to let the gentleman move, because already there have been reports that Poch has been approached. And so people were even saying that when Poch lost his job, the only alternative is to bring him to Manchester United. And under pressure is mounting on Oli. And we only pray that he wins at the,
at the Goodison Park.
but it doesn't look likely that he's going to win at the Goodison Park, because playing at Goodison Park is always tough grounds for Manchester United.
All right, so after losing to Istanbul Başakşehir in the UEFA Champions League, is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer under pressure? Let's take a listen to him.
Very good, open, honest, and a positive dialogue with the club. And they've, as I said here, they've shown strong leadership. I've had good dialogue continually since I've come in. And with me today, sunny in Manchester, I don't expect the wind to turn. Of course, there's always pressure and expectations on us. But as I've grown up here, or I became a man at Manchester United, and I've learned how to deal with good and bad times. So yeah, there's always you're a top coach or a manager when you win, and you're bad when you lose, because that's the last game you played, and you're not really better than your last game. But it's history. Football. Every game of football becomes history quickly, and we've just got to go into Goodison Park in a positive frame of mind.
Well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer says he's not under pressure, but do you get that sense that this man is not under pressure, Akuzia?
You know, it's a bit difficult to really. I think he's under pressure, but he's trying to calm it down and make it look like he's not. But my problem with Manchester United is that there has to be a point where there's a long-term plan, and he talks about that yes, although they may not be winning, the club is looking at the future. Goals and winning is important now, but then there's also a future. I haven't gotten that sense since Ferguson left. It's always the fast food approach, and at a point in time, something's got to give. Well, the problem with Ole is that he's consistently inconsistent, and that is the issue I'm sure most United fans have, because at a point in time you're unbeaten on a 5 streak, then 2 straight defeats. It doesn't order well too much for your psyche as a coach and what you stand for, because he has a good team. This team is supposed to be doing better than they are doing as of now, so he is under pressure. Making him leave at this point in time, I don't think so. Maybe let him end the season. I'm sure most other fans, the ASU, would want that. United, the United do not do too well. But I think we have to give him some sort of time.
Okay.
So if the season ends and it's still bad, then get Poke, because at the end of the day, it gets to a point where enough is enough. There should be a long-term future, but then if we're not seeing any good benefits as of now, then there's a problem.
But what's happening to Pogba?
Yeah, that was all I was about to ask Akusia, that he keeps getting in the right material, but he's failing to improve the team. I mean, Bruno came in half of the season last year and he was brilliant. And this season you could see, he's virtually not doing anything for the club. And as for Pogba, you don't really know. I mean, this guy has been suffering since the first day that he came to Manchester United. I mean, even if he fails to do the right thing on the pitch, you don't really see.
He's not doing the right things on the pitch.
Exactly, but do you blame him? I mean,
why would you blame?
Sometimes I don't blame him because
he's world class.
Exactly,
so
but
we would always have to blame Pogba.
Okay,
because I think
you cannot blame Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for
exactly.
Pogba's
But you see,
performance on the pitch.
within the week, I read an article on the Mirror, and it was written by John Cross, and he was saying that, I mean, the Manchester United legend failing to criticize Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is laughable. You see, Paul Pogba, when you go to France, look at the class of players that he's playing around with. That makes him a better player. You look at when he was at Juventus, you look at the players that he was playing around with. You can't compare those players to what Manchester United are having now.
Manchester United have
absolutely
quality. They have
ridiculous.
quality. I mean, Fernandes is there. Talk of Martial. Are you saying Martial is not a quality player?
I'm not saying he's not a quality player, but you can't compare those guys to.
As much as you would say you can't compare, that is up to Pogba to show the leadership.
But he's not showing
He's not
anything.
showing the leadership.
You're not seeing
In the
anything.
Arsenal game, he was a bit lazy.
He was, actually.
He was a bit lazy. And
He
you
was-
see,
he was in
the
Thomas
work
Partey's
rate
pocket.
is bad.
He was
the
in
work
Thomas
rate
Partey's
is
pocket.
bad. And Mourinho talked about it, but people were like, oh, Mourinho's against Robert Pointer. But then we're all seeing it right now that he's not up to scratch now.
Okay.
And he needs to wake
Well,
up.
let's move on. The game is Manchester United and Everton. Well, we've heard from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who says he's not under pressure. He has the backing of the board. Well, Carlo Ancelotti has also been speaking, and he specifically spoke about the stat that Everton, hardly wins when there's no Richarlison. Let's take a listen to you.
It is important to have not only James, to have Coleman back, to have Digne back, and so we can have a better squad, a better team, because it will be important game and difficult game. Richarlison is a really important player for us, but I think that we have to break this statistic that is not good, and we have to try to break this statistics tomorrow.
So that's Carlo Ancelotti, who is manager of Everton, and they're up against Manchester United at the Goodison Park. Well, the other top liner this weekend will be the game at the Etihad Stadium between Manchester City and defending champions Liverpool. We are back after this break to listen to the two coaches and also hear what our pundits here in the studio have for us in terms of that game. Don't go away. Well, you're welcome back. You're still here on Playmakers on MX24. Some of your messages have come through. Now, this one says another clean sheet for Mendy. Make it 7 in a row. So, definitely, Chelsea will win 4-0, as I predicted correctly for the last Chelsea game. Please, next time, add your name and where you're sending that message from. This one says, Manchester City should do something because I don't want Liverpool to be on the top of the table. They are on the top of the table. So, Chelsea too is going to win because today is Odoi's birthday and we need a gift for him. So, the 3 points will be secure. This one is coming from Kwame Despite 55 inside Labadi. Okay, so you can also send yours in and I'll read them for you. But we have to take a listen to the two coaches for the top liner this weekend. I'm talking about Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp.
It's always nice to play against the strongest teams as possible, and in the last last year was the stronger. So it's an exceptional team for a long time ago, with the same manager for a long time ago, and yeah, it's nice to face them all the time to improve our level. Now, of course, it's important. We cannot deny it. It is, but like you said, so it's the 7th game of the league. So we have 1 game left. So there are a lot of points to play. But of course, you know how important and know how good performance we have to do to beat them. So we knew it from the past, and like we won and we lost, and yeah, we are going to do our best to beat them.
It looks like even you think it's not a decider, so come on. It's a very, very difficult game, hopefully for both teams, because both teams will perform on a high level, so that's it. We are that early in the season, and so many things are different this year. Nothing is to compare with last year. Nothing is to compare with the year before. So it's, yeah, as I said, everything is different, and we just have to make sure that we get through very intense periods, line up the fittest players, and play the best football we can. And in this case, it is against Man City, which is obviously one of the most difficult games to play in the world. And that's it, pretty much. I enjoy these kind of games. I enjoy the preparation for the games, but it doesn't make it easier. It's just a really...
The game that will be at the Etihad Stadium, defending champions Liverpool up against Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. 5 points separating the two teams, with City having a game in hand. Should Liverpool win, it will be 8 points difference between them. How big is the game, Akuzia?
Great game, great game. I don't think it's going to change much in terms of City standing on the table, but then it's going to actually check City's preparedness to contend for the title. I think that would actually be one of the things if we see. And these are two teams that have a spot for choice up front. So I know it's going to be a goals galore. I doubt whether there's going to be a clean sheet as well. So in all, I'm looking forward to a very exciting game and more goals.
You know, Akusia made mention of the fact that the two teams have quality in attack. You look at Liverpool now. For some seasons now, it's been about the front three of Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah, and Roberto Firmino. Now there's a new face, Diego Jota, who is doing very well, scoring week in, week out. His last 3 games, he scored some impressive goals. Their last game actually scored a hat-trick. If you are Jurgen Klopp, what would you do? Would you sit, you know, Firmino on the bench and put in Diego Jota with Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane?
Well, you put him on the pitch, straightforward. I mean, you look at what he's doing. Absolutely impressive. I mean,
but you don't want the tried and tested, you know, Firmino, who, you know, bring different dimension to your game, not just about the scoring of goals.
No, it doesn't matter. You look at what, I mean, Firmino's records. I mean, yes, people say he doesn't score goals, but you look at his work rates, absolutely perfect. But you look at what Jota is doing. It's like even the Liverpool fans are not feeling the absence of Firmino anymore because they have somebody who is giving them the results, giving them the goals. And going into this game, I know Pep Guardiola doesn't really know who is going to be in there, whether Jota or Firmino. But, I mean, the Liverpool perspective, I think Jota will be absolutely, I mean, perfect to be in there. I mean, you look at what he brings on the pitch. We didn't really expect him to be an instant hit, but look at what he's doing. Look at what he did against Atalanta, and coming back to this, I mean, against Manchester United, you only expect him to continue his, I mean, impressive stats at the club.
All right, so we'll see how that will go for Eko. He thinks that Jurgen Klopp should start with the informed player Diego Jota and put Roberto Firmino on the bench. Akusia, what do you think?
I think sometimes experience counts as well. For big games like this, Firmino has been tried and tested in terms of experience. It doesn't matter if Firmino starts and later Jota comes in the game. I think because, you know, it's not going to be a walk in the park, and then it's good to know that Matip too will be there.
Yeah, Matip is back.
Is available too. So in all, I think tread with a bit with caution.
So who wins for you, Liverpool or City?
I think Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Picking Liverpool.
You're looking at playing at Etihad. I think Man City will be in because I mean, VVD is not there.
Okay.
Matip coming in
but
with
Matip
Gomez.
is back with Gomez, so we'll see how that will go. But briefly, there's a big game in Germany. Dortmund, Bayern Munich tied, same points, goal difference separating the two teams. Who wins it, Dortmund or Bayern? They are playing at Dortmund's home.
I still go for Bayern.
Bayern,
unstoppable.
Bayern.
All right. Thank you so much, guys, for doing the watching here on MX24. It's always a pleasure joining you every Saturday morning with the best of sports analysis show in this country. Football analysis show, I should say. Hi, good morning. Liverpool will surely triumph over Manchester City. Joe Mesh from Takrady. I had to do this one. This one says, my name is Hussein inside the 2 region. Chelsea is going to win by 4-0. And again, Mendy is going to keep a clean sheet. The guy that sent the message, okay, he has sent his name. He says his name is Mike. Guys, thanks so much for your messages. We are back same time next week. But do remember to join Sammy Battles tomorrow on Off the Cuff from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. for more local news as well as international football. There will be a review of some of the matches that we played. I'm sure by then the Liverpool-Man City game would have finished. So you hear all the analysis here on MX24. Thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.